Welcome to Visa Bulletin Immigration News. Family-based predictions for June 2023. About 95% of family processing is done by the State Department. During the COVID times, the State Department has been recovering from post-closures. So I believe they've waded through all that backlog and are now moving the dates in an attempt to maximize the number of use this year. In order to assure next year's demand and use, I think family-based applicants in the F1, F2B, F3 and F4 can see continuous forward movement this year with the exception of the F2A category. Maybe. Demand has increased dramatically there, so I wouldn't make a projection about F2A. Concerning the F2B category, I think it's interesting that both the F1 first application and the F2B family application filing dates are the same now. The F1 and F2B dates may be quite close at some point in the future, much closer than they are now, so I think that may mean that at some point, they are likely to be fairly close. Final action dates for June 2023 can be predicted as Filling dates for June 2023 can be predicted as Employment-based predictions for June 2023. In terms of all changeability areas we have seen back-to-back. There will be retrogression in the second preference employment and in the third preference rest of world category, as well as a date in the second preference employment. Again, I would hope that the third preference state they established is sufficient. Maybe they at worst case they will hold that date, and in an ideal world maybe it could, if demand subsides somewhat, maybe they could begin advancing it. I think we will want to continue watching the second, since it has had back-to-back, people may want to start watching that. China. With the dates wherein much seem to be in much better shape, we've heard about the holding of the date in the employment first and second preference, and for 2 months in a row we've seen third preference number uses advance for China, which is an excellent sign. As far as China employment is concerned, I think that in June or July there's an excellent chance that that date will retrogress. I think it could retrogress to September 1st of 2021. With the EB2 date I think it may move a week or so at a time. The same with the China third preference, might get lucky to have a month at a time movement there. In the coming months, India will be my third preference India first. As with China, I believe that the India first preference state will retrogress in June or July. As with China, it could begin as early as September 1st of 2021. I think that the employment preference will retrogress. I think that the India employment second could retrogress to July 1st of 2010. I think the third preference date is likely to hold. I'm not sure because of the establishment of third preference rest of world for the time being. I would not expect any further advancement of the India third preference date, but hopefully that would change. Observation about the India dates. They have been in effect throughout fiscal year 2022 for India's second preference as well. Last year they used over 55,000 India employment second preference numbers. It's a little confusing as to why, with so many visa numbers being used last year, why has there been so much retrogression in India's second preference date this year? We've had 3 India seconds retrogression with a 4th predicted. Final action dates for June 2023 can be predicted as Filling dates for June 2023 can be predicted as